Glenn Rushton, it's official. We have a date.
We do. We have a date, August 26th, Country Bank Stadium in Townsville.
6 weeks this Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Day fight or night fight?
Night fight. We expect Jeff to walk out somewhere around 8:30 to 9, on, of course, subject to previous fights, but we don't want to be too late, of course. It's a Wednesday evening and be a lot of people wanting to watch this fight all around Australia, so we don't want it to be too late.
For our viewers all over the world, is there any word on if this fight's going to be broadcasted into other countries?
I believe that it will go back through ESPN, I believe so, but I don't know the exact details of that arrangement, but I believe it will go back into the US via ESPN, that's my belief.
Okay. And for those who don't know, you're going back to your hometown.
Yeah, Townsville. You know, I grew up in Townsville. I was there from about 9 to 14 and then went back there from 18 to 19, so I did a lot of my schooling there and went back there when I was about 18, started a martial arts club back there in 1976. So, yeah, very familiar with Townsville.
Obviously, 6 weeks out now, some people have said this is the most brutal Jeff Horn's look, the fittest, the focused. You've been with him since day one. Over the last 3-4 years, where can you compare that to?
Yeah, this is the best camp, I believe, since Pacquiao in terms of just Jeff's attitude, the fact that he come off a good base because during COVID-19 he kept training, so he never ever went as soft as he's done between fights before, so he didn't go down to such a low base, so he's started out at a good point, and yeah, he's just in a good place mentally, physically. Everything's going really, really well. Like Chris Mucky's doing a good job with him on his strength and con, so we haven't got any injuries there and no illness, and it's just building very, very nicely. So I've got a great feeling going into this fight, and we're preparing for a war, and we've got a tough opponent here. Tim Tszyu is, we all know how good he is. He's done great things in the sport, and he's number 6 in the world, and he's there for a reason. So number 5 versus number 6, it doesn't get much better than that, with a world title potentially on the line for the winner.
Looking back on it, stepping up against the Rafa and going up to 160, do you feel now, because this will be the first time you guys have fought 154, do you truly believe that 154 will be Jeff's sweet spot? If he fights for the next 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, he says he'll probably be at 135. Is this the sweet spot for Jeff Horn at 154?
I think it is the sweet spot. The good thing with Jeff is at this age, at his age now, it's very easy to do light middle. So, middle was sort of struggling to get to middle, whereas light middle is very, very comfortable for him. And it's also a nice spot where you can drop down if a big fight emerged down at welterweight, such as a rematch with Pacquiao to come out of left field. Would be open to that. If, of course, there was an opportunity to go up to middleweight, we could get to middleweight from that midpoint. So that's what I'm looking at, is there could be some great fights at light middle. So there's also some terrific competition in the light middleweight division at the moment, with people like Rosario in there, and Tszyu, and of course Charlo, and of course even, who knows, Terence Crawford may go up, who I rank as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world currently. He may even go up to light middle. So there's I think anywhere between welterweight and middleweight in the world at the moment, there's amazing fights and some brilliant competitions. So
that's your plan, obviously. Big win on August 26th, and then potentially maybe fight again before the year ends against a world champion at 154. Absolutely.
We'd love to have a world title by the end of the year and fight, and if we could entice one of the world champions here down to Queensland, where there's very little COVID-19 to worry about, and it's a great holiday destination, the weather would be fantastic. There's every opportunity to bring one of those world champions down here. But we've got business to do first on August 26th, and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We saw what happened when Jeff did that down in Bendigo, so we won't get ahead of ourselves. We'll focus on this fight in front of us, and we've got a fierce opponent, a very confident opponent in Tim Tszyu. We know he's just oozing confidence, but so are we. So are we. So they're the fights you want to see. They're the fights Australia wants to see.
And you've been in some big domestic, fights. The fight against Mundy, and even though Mundy was at the end of his career, it was a big domestic build-up. So Rafa was a pretty big build-up, especially number 2, obviously after Jeff. Where do you rate this one compared to those other ones that you've been involved in? I know against Pacquiao, obviously that was an international fight, and when you guys got that fight and came through, where do you rate this field on a domestic level?
On a domestic level, I think this is the biggest fight in Australia this year.
Yeah.
We've got this emerging young bull that's sweeping all before him. son of the famous Kostya, who was a legend in the sport. So we've got this amazing young talent that everyone's got massive raps on. And then we got Jeff Horn, the bullied school kid that did the impossible and beat the great, the legendary, who's still fantastic, Manny Pacquiao, and lost to arguably the best fighter in the world in Terence Crawford. So, I think this is a terrific sort of sequence of events that have come together, and this fight's been hard because I've had Matt Rose, the promoter of Tim Tszyu, saying to me for quite some time, Glenn, when are we going to do it? Glenn, when are we going to do it? I said, not yet, not yet, not yet. I didn't think it was ready. Now it's ready, so let's get it on. And I think all of Australia wants this fight. I think all of the world wants this fight because a lot of people around the world are looking at Jeff and saying, is he back now to his very best? Is he worthy of a world title? What about this Tim Tszyu, this son of Kostya? How good is he? So everyone wants to sort of see, this great test, and it is an amazing test for Tim and obviously for us. It's a critical point in time, and this is the launching pin to get us back for another world title. So we are very hungry.
Because going back to last year, you'd learn a lot, and taking nothing away from the second fight with Rosario. The preparation was obviously a hell of a lot different. But looking back on the first one, you could probably take a lot back from where you went right in the first one. You've had a lot more time now to prepare. I know both fighters have, but a very more refreshed Jeff.
Yeah, and I think Jeff learned a lot from that fight in Bendigo, and that is don't take anyone cheaply, particularly young, fit, hungry guys. You get someone who's very fit, very determined, to get to the top, and you're in his way, they'll do whatever they've got to do. So I think Jeff realises that, whilst the talent is good and the experience is good, you've got to do the work. And, as I said, I'm very impressed with Jeff's attitude through this campaign.
I've heard that from a lot of people.
He's happy. He's working his backside off, but he's happy. And that's that's sometimes hard to get. And that is exactly what you want out of a fighter. You want a fighter that is training his guts out, but still happy because he's doing it because he wants to do it and he knows he needs to do it. So if we can stay on this trajectory, and as you know, we're 6 weeks out. We know that there's little hiccups that present themselves along the way. But if we can stay on this trajectory, I think we're going to see the best Jeff Horn since Manny Pacquiao, and that is a very dangerous opponent.
And for you guys, it's sort of a blessing because, I know Bob and Top Rank have done some great shows recently. We've obviously a lot of the lightweights and smaller weights. But you guys, PBC have announced just 2 days ago, we got the emails that they're going to do some shows in August, but they'll ramp up their bigger shows in September, October. Golden Boy are going to start doing their shows late August, September. But really, you guys, this is probably the biggest fight in the world. For the month of August.
Absolutely. I think for the month of August, this is the pinnacle fight. This is the premier fight in the world. 5 versus 6 would be a big fight anywhere, particularly when you look at who that 5 and 6 are, who they are. And I think it's a massive fight, not, as you say, just domestically, but globally. I think this is a big fight, and it'll have a bit of a shake-up in this light middleweight division.
Does the winner, cement himself as the best 154 in the country? Or?
Oh, without doubt. The winner certainly cements themselves as the best 154 in the country, and I think the winner certainly puts themselves in a position for a shot at a world title as well. So, yeah.
All right, no worries. August 26th, we'll be tuning in, obviously, to Jeff Horn, Tim Tszyu from Townsville. Glenn Rushton, thanks for your time with FightHype.com.
Thanks again, Neil.